Welcome, everyone, to another live episode with Dr. Eve, your community health and human service educator, right here on Touch One Life, Touch Millions Media. Welcome, everyone, to another live episode with Dr. Eve, your community. Welcome, everyone, to another live episode with Dr. Eve. Super excited to be back in the space again, everyone. Hope you all had an amazing holiday. We are excited about another important topic today that many have been asking about. We're going into a new year and we're really trying to learn how to keep more of our money, how to be self sustainable, how to build an economy at home. Welcome. I'm Dr. Eve, your community health and human service educator, right here on Touch One Life, Touch Millions Media, where we explore all the opportunities for redefining well being as the highest form of equity. Welcome back, old subscribers, and welcome to the new subscribers who will maybe catch this video on in the aftermath. So today's topic is how to start a farm. You guys, it's been an amazing journey, and I really want to talk to you all about this innovative approach. We think the word innovative, using things to that will help us to get, make, manage, and multiply innovative ways. But this is a historic way. And I want you to get your pencils, get your paper, and let's tune into how to start a farm for beginning farmers. We're going to be touching base on information from the USDA. I believe in bringing you real time information as a qualitative researcher as well, and a expert in the industry of community health and human service. So I am excited to talk about this topic because I am considered a farm. And for many of us, we don't understand that the simple definition of farm, owning a farm, simply means one's ability, this is according to the USDA, one's ability to create or make and manage and multiply $1,000 in a single year, deriving from agricultural products. Now, that's huge in itself because many don't really understand how much of everything comes from agricultural resources. So I'm excited to explore this journey with you and take you on this journey to starting up and getting moving and all the things. We are in December, guys. We are in December 28th, 27th, December 27th. In a couple of months, gardens, farms everywhere are going to be busting at the seams with all these beautiful green things and food, right? And for me, this topic is critically important because we at in across all the channels and the work that I do, my goal is sustainable living, food security, water security, housing security, economic job security, all the things that are critical to the well-being of humanity. So, how do you start a farm for beginners? So, let's take a dive right into some of the information. And I'm also going to be leaving the link down below in the description of this video so you'll have access to this information. So, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to plan your farm operation. What is that going to look like for you? So, in the planning, you have to think about your operation from the ground up. and start planning for a business, right? Because we don't just do hobbies over here, because we want to make sure that we have access to the resources that are going to get us what we need when we need it. You know, I was had the opportunity to explore the Homestead Act. Over these last few days, I've been a little under the weather, and looking at how many were given land opportunities to grow food in 1865, I believe it was, when the Homestead Act went into play. And many farmers like myself, or those of African descent, lost their farming, because they weren't able to maintain, they weren't able to get access to resources. um the resources, there were so many barriers associated with getting the resources, and a lot of that is simply knowledge, right? Do we have the knowledge and the understanding to apply the wisdom we need to get the thing done? And so we always have to begin with the end in mind. That is one of my favorite Sean Covey principles. Begin with the end in mind. So, when you are planning, and why do you need to plan a farm business, is because it will help you, number one, to get organized. It'll help you to remember all of the details and make sure you are taking all of the necessary steps, right? It will act as your guide. It will help you to think carefully about why you want to farm in the first place and what you want to achieve in that farming space. Over time, you can look back at your business plan and determine whether you are achieving your goals. Here's what that looked like for me. So, when I started my first portion of first of all, finding land, like literally, I started growing in my townhouse backyard. Little backstory: in my townhouse backyard, where I didn't even have dirt to plant stuff in. So I was very determined, though, because if you if I can put dirt in it, then I can grow food. So I grew in swimming pools, I grew in bags, I grew in shoot whatever, garden rails, whatever I could hang on the fence. I grew in whatever I could put dirt into, and I'm going to begin to show you some of those pictures before and now, because I have progressed over the years. Did I have a lot of success in growing when I was at my townhouse? I did, but not in abundance. But what it was for me was a step towards understanding, what does it mean to grow food and what does that look like? So as I began to do more of the process of just trying to figure things out, I'm at this phase now, where I'm looking more at when to plant things, because a lot of success is simply in, knowing, having the knowledge to do a thing is so critical to the impact that you will have. So when I was in the townhome, I decided one day it's time for us to, to move, and we were ready to go. We had saved enough money and it was time to buy a home. But I was very specific about what I needed in a home. I didn't want to be like the Joneses. I didn't want a house that was made out of sticks. I didn't I didn't need a garage. I just that just doesn't tickle my fancy at all. Um I didn't need the things that a lot of people need. I was at a very seasoned and mature age, and so what I wanted in land was in a home was land. I wanted land, and that land had to be able to be farmed. It needed to be in a very I didn't want an HOA, too many rules. So that was definitely not something that I wanted. I also needed to have, I wanted a corner lot. I had really been walking through neighborhoods looking at what I wanted in a property. And so your first thing in your plan is going to be, where are you going to plant, right? And so we found a beautiful home, no HOA, no garage, none of that. As a matter of fact, we're just putting up security now around the parameters of the property. We live in a dead end, so that's exciting. And in a neighborhood. And so we're able to be around people who are also homeowners. So that's exciting as well. Now, so I said all that to say that that is critically important for you to think about in your plan. Where will you do this? Where is this going to occur? Do you have access? Do you have what you need? And we're here to help you with that, okay? Um so you want to act, again, you have to plan. You will, it helps you to get organized. It helps to act as a guide over time to see how your project shifts. And then it's also required to get a loan. Like, many people see the word loan or they see the word grant and they immediately think, oh, I can go get some money. It's I can, how do I get? And the thing about that is, the steps you take prior to even getting a loan are the most critical steps that you could take. And part of that is, understanding your financial position. You know, what is your financial statement? Your personal financial statement. What does that look like for you? What are your assets? What are your liabilities? What do you have access to? And many people think that they don't have assets, but you actually do. Because if I could take everything out of my home and put it on the side on a yard sale and price it, then it's an asset. It's an asset. So I can actually sell it, and I don't owe anybody. So, and it's in a trust. So I don't, I wouldn't do that, but because I understand that everything, I don't own anything, but it's protect, it's asset driven. It's in an asset protected space. And so I don't own anything, but I can always utilize those resources um, as a way to share my information with a lending source, right? So, yeah. So then the next steps: how do you get help from the USDA? Um, a good way to get started with help from the USDA um, is to get their guide. They have a guide that you can use, and have a plan that you would like to verify. It's whether you need a good get started guide, or have a plan that you would like to verify, or have a plan you're looking to update for your next growth phase. USDA can help you connect to the resources to help you make decisions. One of my best resources in my county is my cooperative extension, my farm service agency. Every county has one. And that is the first place I tell people to always check into your cooperative extension. So, your state's beginning farmer and coordinator can, again, connect you to the local resources, because you want to be connected and begin to build a network of resources that are right in your back door. Your farmers market, your community collective packet, of farmers who are growing certain crops. Everybody's not growing everything, right? And so being in the know and what you're able to grow and create may put you in a real good position of being adding value to your community package, your community box, your um, community box, right? So that's really important. Um, so that can help you to establish a successful business plan. Again, you want to reach out to them for your one-on-one technical assistance and guidance, and they can connect you with organizations that specifically serve beginning farmers and renters. It's important to know that no single solution fits everyone, and you should research, you should seek guidance, and make the best decision for your operation according to your own individual priorities. You know what you want. And here's a few tips that I like to share with people is, first of all, if you're going to grow what you like, begin to experiment. And I tell everyone also, sample your soil. Your soil is the most important part of growing any food of your ecosystem, because if your soil is not nutrient dense, it will not grow nutrient dense food. And so that is the most important advice that I can give to you, is to get your soil sampled and begin to add and build an eco-friendly um, forestry that will grow food with natural resources. Oftentimes you if you notice, you will see during the fall, people packed up bags of leaves and they put them on the side for people to collect and throw in the trash. Well, that is like rich gold to me. That's like, I need to get that and put it in a pile somewhere in my yard for future use. Whenever people are putting out pine straw from their trees, because I am surrounded by pines, I go get the pine straw and I put the pine straw into my pile, for, if not for me, for my chickens or for later. I am building a system, a permaculture, which that is what's going to be the help you to build a forest floor that provides a space for creatures and all of the things below the dirt that need to feed the what do you call it, amatodes and the microbot. Okay, can't even think of all those biological terms, but at any rate, biomes, all the things that worms, all the things that are needed for your soil to be healthy. So you want to begin to think about that. Start small, start somewhere, just start small. Again, farming is defined as your ability to generate $1,000 of products that derives from agricultural resources. That could literally be some lip balm that's created from some agricultural resource. It could be lotion that's made from some herb that you grew in your garden. It could be soap. It could be so many things. And so I want you all to be cognizant about the way you think about the word farm. And so that's how to begin, or why you need a farm business plan. Is that was one of the first things that you must understand. So in your building of farm business plan, there are things that you also need. You need a business, your history of your business. Like, we just added an agricultural department, right? So I have a social enterprise. I'm not locked in. We are a social enterprise. We build upon our business. And with that, you can always add divisions, right? And yeah, no matter what that is, you can always add divisions. Like I said, begin with the end in mind. If I was to think like a hospital has so many departments. Why? Because they have specialty areas. They have people who do specialty things in specialty areas. And that's kind of how you have to think about your business. Think about it as a big business and stop thinking about it as a small business. And when you think about it that way, you say, okay, well, I have mastered this part of what it means to be a business owner. Now, how do I add on something, a department? What area am I ready for that's going to help strengthen the foundation of what it is that I do, my mission, the business's mission. And our mission at Audacity is to affirm human social value. Well, how do we do that? We do that by making sure that people have what they need, like to live a sustainable life. Otherwise, we are not giving value to the life of humanity. So, by having such a powerful mission, we can then strategically add related business to our entity. So your business history is important. That's why it's important to track things, like even when you go to my website, you'll see how I track the impact of the work I've been doing. When did it start? How many people? What have I been doing? I built online, I built offline. I made some money sometimes. I made no money sometimes. So it's like all those things, business has ebbs and flows. And when you are embarking on this new journey, that's exactly what you're doing. It's a new journey, and you won't know everything, but you must be willing to stay the course. So the next thing again is you have to have your mission, vision, and visions and goals. And I just mentioned my mission, which is to affirm human social value. I envision a world that's not hungry. I envision a world that's not homeless. I envision a world where water is safe. I envision anything related to the cost of a sustainable society. Then I envision those things. Now, what are some goals that I can set to enhance or begin the process of expanding this vision? Like, first step is to goal number one, I'm going to start on food, right? Then I'm going to add something water. Like my goals, mine is food, water, energy, and shelter, right? Food, water, energy, and shelter for economic sustainability, right? Then organization and management. How will it be organized and managed? So we will break these pieces down as we begin to talk a little bit more about that. But there's six sections to your business plan: your business history, your mission, vision, and goals, your organization and management, marketing, your operations, and your financials, right? And so those are the parts of your business plan that you are going to want to begin to think about. This is not essentially, this business plan is not exclusive to just farming, because any business that you create should have these components to them as well, right? And then you have like balance sheets that you business plan worksheets, and we're going to begin to really help those who are interested in starting farming business to really begin to dissect these components so that you can do the work, right? And remember, I said that all you have to be willing to do is make $1,000 in a with a product that derives from agricultural resources. That would be textiles, that would be livestock, that would be plants and herbs and flowers and trees and wood and all the things that develop from these agricultural products, right? We will be diving a lot more into these topics, and I want to begin at the top of our year, really looking at, for those of you who may even be looking for the right type of property. Many go out looking for all of this acreage. Guys, you don't need a whole lot of acreage to do this. I'm on less than one. You don't need a lot of acreage. You really just need a plan, right? A plan, and the ability to work the land, right? So, and a process. So you want to Also, I will be giving you some creative ways to look at buying land to not only farm, but to live in, because oftentimes you see what we're faced with 344 million people in the US, and our homelessness is worse than it's been ever. It's worse than it's ever been. And largely because of the markets, the housing markets, the lack of affordable living, housing, and all the things that we're talking about. Inflation. We're talking about jobs that you have to even get an affordable house, right? So there's layers to things, right? It's not just about one thing. There's this great big onion with skins, and you got to skin it, baby. You got to pull back the layers to that thing in order to really get to the root of the problem. And here at on Touch One Life, Touch Millions Media, it is my goal. It is my goal to really, really pull back those layers, that we might be able to um, not only address the concerns, successes, the gaps, and the recommendations, but also to make things happen when no one's coming to save us. I don't, I never begin present a problem to my community without a solution for us all, right? And I think that that is the most critical thing to do, is to have a solution, to be solution focused. That while we might go and lobby, we might go and do this, we might go and do that and the other, but what we doing in the meantime is what really matters, right? And that is how we gonna snatch back our ability to thrive in this in and to sustain in an environment that where all the odds have been stacked against us. So, for those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. I am Dr. Eve, your community health and human service educator, researcher, author, speaker, and host of Touch One Life, Touch Millions Media. Super excited to have you here. If you are interested in learning more about more in 25, please click the link in the description of this video and join us in community every single Tuesday, where we're going to be dealing with some real hard issues, and how we progress in a society where all the odds are stacked against us. Now we have a paid community coming up as well, so I'm really excited about that. Making sure that we value the work that's being done, value the resources that are going to be presented and coming forth when you don't know. Someone does. So I'm really excited about that. And learning how to not only monetize what we do, but teach you how to monetize what you do as well, right? That is key to success in 2025. And for now, everyone, I'm Dr. Eve. I hope you have the most amazing day. And whatever you do, let no one get in the way on your journey, as I can say, to becoming who God has called you to become. Until next time, this is TOLTM Conversations Live with Dr. Eve.